This summary is about the book The 7 Habits of Mentally Strong People. In this book, you will learn about the 7 habits that can make you mentally strong, controlling emotions, avoiding self-pity, embracing change, focusing on what you can control, taking calculated risks, being consistent with discipline, and not seeking approval from everyone. Just think, friends. Your life is a battlefield every day. Every morning when you wake up, the first enemy you face is not the outside world, but your own thoughts. Sometimes fear, sometimes anger, sometimes the opinions of others, sometimes the pressure of circumstances. All these together create a storm inside you. And in the midst of this storm, the real question arises: are you truly strong? Being mentally strong doesn't just mean smiling or ignoring difficulties. Its real meaning is to control your emotions, to keep yourself stable in every situation, and to hold the steering wheel of your life firmly in your hands. This is the power that can turn any ordinary person into an extraordinary one. Now you must be thinking, where does this strength come from? Is it in someone's genes? Is it only with lucky people? No. This strength is a process, a system, and anyone can bring this system into their life if they learn to befriend their own mind. Imagine when a big change comes in front of you. Most people get scared and retreat, but a mentally strong person sees that change not as a threat, but as an opportunity. When people think, "Why me?" a strong mind thinks, "How to move forward now?" This is the difference between a weak and a strong person. And honestly, it is not easy to become mentally strong. It involves sacrifices. It involves facing fear. It involves the courage to rise above the approval of others. But once you acquire this power, no force in the world can break you. You will come out of every fall even stronger. This journey is not just for changing your life, but for giving a new meaning to your entire existence. When you learn to control yourself, when you become the master of your emotions and not their slave, then you become that version that the world looks at and says, "Yes, this person is truly unshakable." So now, let's learn about those 7 habits that will take us into the world of mental strength, a world where fear cannot stop you, circumstances cannot break you, and the opinions of others do not determine your direction. Habit 1. They control their emotions. Have you ever noticed the most difficult moments of life are often not when the outside environment is bad, but when our inner environment falls apart? The outside world is always changing. Sometimes people will support you. Sometimes they will betray you. Sometimes the circumstances will be good. Sometimes very bad. But the real battle goes on inside, and the name of that battle is to keep control of your emotions. Imagine you wake up in the morning and someone just says, "You can't do anything." Suddenly your mood drops. You feel angry, or perhaps sadness takes hold of you. The whole day passes in the same energy, and this is where you lose, because you handed over the key to your emotions to someone else. Mentally strong people do not do this. They know that emotions are powerful, so powerful that they can either make you or break you. But what makes the difference is whether you become their slave or their master. Think about it. If anger controls you, your decisions will be wrong. If fear controls you, you will not be able to take risks. If sadness controls you, you will stop trying. And this is the moment where life's biggest opportunities slip from your hands. But imagine the picture on the other side, where you recognize your emotions. You feel them, but you don't make decisions by getting carried away by them. Anger comes, but you turn it into your strength. Fear comes, but you see it as a signal that, yes, there is growth here. Sadness comes, but you learn from it and move forward. This is the true power of emotional control. control. Now, the question is, how can a person do this? The answer is simple: awareness. Whenever an emotion shakes you, take a pause. Ask yourself, am I making the right decision based on this emotion right now, or is it just my temporary feelings? This small pause separates you from the rest of the crowd. Remember, you can never completely control the external world. What will people say? How will the circumstances be? This is not in your hands. But what is going on inside you is always in your hands, and this is the place where real power is hidden. Mentally strong people know that suppressing emotions is not a solution. Accepting them, understanding them, and then using them wisely is their strength. They turn anger into fuel, fear into courage, and sadness into strength. This is why they do not break down even in the most difficult situations, but become stronger. Life will test you every day, sometimes with someone's harsh words, sometimes with an unexpected loss, sometimes with a failure. But if you have learned to master your emotions, no situation can shake you. You will stand on your feet every time. So remember, being emotionally strong doesn't mean suppressing emotions, but keeping them in your control. When you learn this art, your decisions become clear, your energy goes in the right direction, and your life comes under your control. And this is the first step on the journey of mental strength, where you become the master of your mind, not its slave.
Imagine two people going through the same situation. Both have lost their jobs. The first person sits down and thinks, "My life is over now. I have nothing." He complains about his condition to everyone, cries about his situation all the time. Gradually, his confidence goes down, and he truly gives up. The second person is also sad, but he asks himself, "Okay, this has happened. What can I do next? What new options do I have? How can I turn this into a chance?" And slowly, the same person uses that difficulty as a stepping stone and rebuilds his life. This is the difference between self-pity and self-responsibility. The truth is that whenever we feel sorry for ourselves, we waste our energy. The same energy that could have helped us move forward, we lose in complaints. And this is where mentally strong people become different from us. They don't waste their energy in crying and complaining, but put it into action. Sometimes we feel that the world has treated us very unfairly, but honestly, unfairness is another name for life. Here, everyone doesn't get everything equally, but mentally strong people know that you can move forward only by accepting unfairness. Self-pity gives you temporary comfort, but in the long term, it makes you weak. Whereas when you pick yourself up and take action, you awaken a power within you that you probably didn't even know you had before. This is why mentally strong people use every defeat as a new beginning. Remember, crying doesn't change the situation. Complaining doesn't open any doors. But when you leave self-pity and move forward, slowly the circumstances begin to change in your favor. And this habit makes you different from the crowd. So if you really want to become mentally strong, always remember one thing: never waste time feeling sorry for yourself, because the control of your life is in your own hands, not someone else's. Habit 3. They embrace change. Just think, if life always remained the same as it is now, would you ever be able to grow? If circumstances never changed, would you be able to recognize your hidden strength? The truth is that change forces us to move forward, but the irony is that most people are afraid of change. Change shakes our comfort zone. It pushes us into situations where everything is uncertain, and this uncertainty creates fear in us. Think about it. How did it feel when you had to change your job for the first time, or move to a new city, or get out of a relationship? At that time, there was fear in your heart, doubts in your mind, and endless questions about the future. This is the true face of change. But mentally strong people do not run away from this fear, but face it. For them, change is not a threat, but a chance to turn themselves into a better version. They know that every change brings new opportunities with it, even if it seems tough at first. Imagine a caterpillar. If that caterpillar thought that change is very painful and refused to enclose itself in a cocoon, would it ever become a butterfly? Absolutely not. Its life would have ended just by crawling, but it accepted the change, endured that pain, and then took a new form. A person's life is also something like this. Now, when life suddenly makes us go through some unexpected change, such as job loss, financial crisis, or the breakdown of a relationship, we have two paths. The first is to sit there and complain, be afraid, and think, why me? The second is to accept that change and ask, what can I learn from this? How can I turn this into an opportunity for myself? Mentally strong people always choose the second path. They know that running away from change means running away from your growth. They consider every new situation a classroom where they will be taught something new. Remember, those who are afraid of change are left behind. The world is moving forward rapidly. Technology is changing, relationships are changing, society is changing. In such a situation, if you become rigid and say, no, I will remain the same, you will slowly become irrelevant. But when you embrace change, you keep yourself ready for every situation, and this quality makes you unshakable. Mentally strong people are always prepared. They know that change brings discomfort, but the future is hidden in that same discomfort. So the next time life puts you on a new path, don't be afraid of it. Tell your heart, yes, this is tough, but this is also my chance to grow. And believe me, on the other side of every change, a new version is waiting for you, which is much stronger, more confident, and more unstoppable than you are today. Habit 4. They focus on what you can control. Has it ever happened that you kept thinking about something all night, but when you woke up in the morning, you realized that you had no control over it? This happens in everyone's life. We spend hours, days, and sometimes years wasting energy on things we have no control over. What will the weather be like? What will people think about us? Who will support us and who will leave us? All these things keep bothering our mind. But the truth is that the more you focus on these uncontrollable things, the weaker you will become from the inside. You will hand over your power to others. And this is the mistake most people make. Mentally strong people do not fall into this trap. They understand that every aspect of the world is not in their hands, but their actions, their choices, and their responses are always in their control. And this difference makes their life extraordinary. Imagine two people stuck in a traffic jam. The first person shouts, gets angry, and honks repeatedly. His whole mood is spoiled, and he takes that anger home or to the office. The second person understands that the traffic is not in his hands, so he uses this time to do something positive. Maybe he listens to an audiobook, plans his upcoming day, or just takes deep breaths to keep himself calm. The situation is the same for both, but the reaction changed the quality of life for both of them. This is the true strength of using control in the right place. When you stop focusing on the things that are not in your hands, you suddenly get more energy. And when you apply that energy to your goals, your habits, and your growth, magic begins to happen in your life. One more simple example. If it's going to rain, you can't change the weather, but you can decide to take an umbrella. If a person thinks wrong about you, you can't change his mind, but you can decide whether his opinion will control your mood or not. This mindset frees you from within.
Mentally strong people know that control doesn't mean dominance, but clarity. In every situation, they ask themselves, is this in my control or not? If it is, they take action with full force. If not, they let it go and move on. This simple habit separates them from thousands of people. Remember, you are the director of your life, but every character and every scene will not be in your control. Your job is to focus on those scenes where you can truly make a difference. And when you do that, your life slowly starts moving in the direction where you want to take it. So the next time an uncontrollable situation comes, ask yourself, is this in my hands? If the answer is yes, take action. If the answer is no, let it go, because the greatest power of your energy lies where your control is. Habit 5. They take calculated risks. Have you ever felt that life's greatest opportunities are always hidden outside your comfort zone? But the problem is that the path to reach there often goes through fear and uncertainty. This is why most people keep their dreams limited to just dreams, because they are afraid to take risks. But think, if every person was afraid to take risks, would there be innovations in the world today? Would people be able to start their businesses? Would any artist be able to show his art to the world?
Risk is the door that takes you from average to extraordinary. Now, what matters is what kind of risk it is. There is a world of difference between a foolish risk and a calculated risk. A foolish risk happens when a person jumps in without thinking and then the circumstances break him. But a calculated risk happens when a person takes a step with thought, preparation, and strategy. Mentally strong people always choose this path. Imagine a person who suddenly quits his job and jumps into a business without understanding the market or making a plan. Chances are very high that he will fail. But on the other hand, if a person does research for months, does small experiments, aligns his savings and skills, and then takes a step, his probability of winning will be very high. This is a calculated risk. There will be fear, but preparation will make you strong. Mentally strong people don't avoid risks. They know that taking risks is the real price of growth. But before taking every step, they ask themselves, what will happen if this succeeds? If it fails, how will I handle it? And can I bear this loss? The answers to these questions give them clarity, and clarity is what separates them from the crowd. Remember, risk always brings uncertainty, but uncertainty is the place where magic happens. If you always play safe, you may never lose, but you will also not be able to win, because to win, it is necessary to take a risk. Mentally strong people are not afraid of risks, but they manage them. They weigh every possibility, are ready to accept the worst case, and then move forward with full confidence. And this confidence takes them forward. The truth of life is that if you want growth, you have to take risks. But making that risk smart is in your hands. Risk can either destroy your life or build it. It depends on whether you took it without thinking or with careful thought. So the next time a big opportunity knocks on your door and fear starts to stop you, ask yourself, is this a calculated risk for me? Am I prepared? If yes, don't back down, because the story of every great success begins with a step like this, a calculated risk that changed everything. Habit 6. They stay consistent with discipline. Have you ever noticed that we often get inspiration, but how difficult it is to maintain consistency after that? You watched a motivational video in the morning, read a book, or a speech inspired you. At that moment, you feel like, now I will change everything. But after 2 days, that same energy disappears. This is the difference between motivation and discipline. Motivation is momentary, but discipline gives you long-term victory. Mentally strong people know that discipline is the real superpower. Every day, no matter what the circumstances are, they remain committed to their habits and goals. Whether they feel like it or not, whether the circumstances are in their favor or against, they do their work. This consistency makes them extraordinary from ordinary. Imagine a person who goes to the gym only when he's in the mood. He goes for 1 week and then leaves for 2 weeks. His body and health will never be stable. But the second person goes every day with discipline, whether it's raining or cold, whether motivation is high or zero. Slowly his body changes, his energy increases, and his confidence also becomes sky high. This is the power of discipline. Discipline doesn't mean living a boring life, but respecting your priorities. Mentally strong people understand that success is the result of small, consistent steps. They know that if they delay their work a little today, its effect will be big tomorrow. That's why they don't give excuses a place. Think about it. If Thomas Edison had given up after trying to make a light bulb 10 times, would the world see light today? If an athlete had practiced only when he felt like it, would he have won a gold medal? The foundation of every great success is based on discipline. Mentally strong people train their minds. They tell their minds, your mood doesn't matter, your goals matter. And when this practice happens again and again, the mind also starts to believe it. This habit makes them unstoppable. Remember, discipline doesn't look glamorous because it starts with small things. Waking up on time, following a daily routine, avoiding distractions, and fulfilling your commitments. But these small things together bring big results. So the next time your mind wants to postpone a task, ask yourself a question. Am I a slave to my mood or the master of my goals? If you choose your goals, slowly your life will start to transform. Consistency may seem boring, but this consistency will take you to extraordinary heights. And this is the secret habit of mentally strong people. They make discipline their lifestyle.
Habit 7. They don't seek approval from everyone. Have you ever noticed that most of us live our lives just so that people approve of us, like us, and accept us? From childhood, we are taught, "What will people say?" This thought scares us at every step, and slowly we get into the race of looking good in the eyes of others. But the truth is that no matter how hard you try, you can never please everyone. No matter how much effort you put in, there will always be someone who is dissatisfied with you. And if you spend your whole life looking for approval, you will slowly lose your own identity. Mentally strong people free themselves from this trap. They know that the opinions of others keep changing. Today, people will praise you. Tomorrow, they will criticize you. If you live your life all the time according to the opinions of others, you will never be able to find stability. That's why they determine their self-worth not by the eyes of others, but by their own values and principles. Imagine a singer who always thinks while singing, "Will people clap or not?" His whole attention is on the reaction of the people. Now, there is a second singer who sings from his heart, from his soul. He doesn't wait for people's applause because his focus is on the process, not on the people. And this is where his art becomes powerful. The search for approval makes a person weak. It forces you to compromise. You leave the work you love just because someone might not like it. You don't say the things you believe in just because someone might feel bad. And slowly, you lose your originality. Mentally strong people break this fear. They know that every person in the world has a different way of thinking. Someone will praise you, someone will criticize you. But in the end, what is most important is your own respect, not the approval of others. Remember, if the world's greatest leaders, thinkers, and creators had waited for approval, they would probably never have raised their voices. Imagine if Mahatma Gandhi had thought, "What will people say?" Or if a scientist had been afraid of people laughing while doing research. What changes would have come in the world then? So the next time you make a decision, ask yourself, am I doing this because it is truly right for me, or just so that people approve of me? If your answer is the first, you are on the right track. Mentally strong people do not get caught in the race for approval. They know that it is impossible to look perfect in everyone's eyes. So they choose authenticity over pleasing the crowd. And this last habit makes them the strongest. They live their lives on their own terms, not on the endless opinions of the world. Conclusion: life is not always easy. Every day brings new challenges. Sometimes situations that try to break us. Sometimes people who underestimate us. And sometimes our own fears and doubts that pull us back. But what makes the difference is how we face all this. Mentally strong people are not different because they get fewer problems. The only difference is that in every situation, they know how to control their mind and heart. They become the masters of their emotions. Reject self-pity, embrace change, focus only on what is in their control, are not afraid to take risks, but take steps in a calculated manner, make discipline their strength, and above all, they do not waste their life in search of approval. Imagine what your life would be like if you adopted these habits. You would be more confident, more fearless, and most importantly, you would feel truly free, because when your mind is strong, no storm can bring you down. Remember, strength means getting up again even after falling. And when you create the strength within yourself, you not only change your own life, but also become an inspiration for the people around you. So friends, now the question is, are you ready to make your mind strong? Are you ready to take your life to a new level? If yes, start practicing these habits. Because the real transformation does not come from one big step, but from the small, consistent steps taken every day. And remember, this journey will not be easy, but this journey will change you into that version that you yourself will look at and say, yes, I am mentally strong, and I can face anything.